This is bonus time. It's bonus time. Bonus time with Zach, and we're doing the thing. Hey, everybody, nice hat, and eye patch, and hat. I'm honestly the worst with cosplay. Like, I'll see people like with the most amazing costumes. I'm like, oh my God, what are you? Well, clearly you're Dorothy, because she had a little hat and a basket. You have a basket. Oh, well done. You have a little dog in there? And you got ruby slippers. Sir, can you sniff those real quick for me? Not your thing? All right, that's fine. Hi, how's everybody doing? Hi. Has anybody seen any other panels today? I know you were at, which one were you at? Oh, you were at NASA JP? I was gonna say, I thought so, especially because you got the NASA TARDIS shirt on. That is awesome. What's that? And Maze Runner. Oh, Maze Runner was fun. Jim Lee? Oh, did you get Jim Lee signing? Oh, dude. How awesome is Jim Lee, by the way? He and... How old are you, sir, if you don't mind me asking? 35. I'm 33 this year in September. I know, so old, right? But the comic books that were my generation of comic books were Rob Liefeld and Jim Lee. Those are my guys, right? So, like, when I met Jim and Rob for the first time, I peed a little bit. I peed a good amount, actually. It was not, I should have been prepared. And part of creating those characters and that artwork and a lot of people like, the world will hear that. Well, Rob knows. A lot of like comic fans now have like given Rob a lot of crap because he like never drew ankles. Who needs ankles? And he was always like, had all the gear. Like he was a gear heavy, like pouches everywhere. And yet, every like when I was on Chuck, like I was constantly, do we have a vest with more pouches? Can we get more? And I'm like, oh my God, it's like in my head. Like that's why I want so many pouches, because it looks badass, people. All right, yeah, full house. Hey guys, thanks for selling out my panel. I appreciate that. Oh yes. Disclaimers, like always. Is there flash photography allowed at the panel? No. Is there video allowed at the panel? No. Is there fun allowed at the panel? Yeah. By the way, if I start moderating my own voice and not getting super excited, it's because, as some of you know, I'm doing a Broadway show right now. Thank you very much. So I've had to become one of those like dumbass actors who's like, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm gonna wear a lot of ascots and scarves. It's gonna be great. Oh, I have a lozenge. I'm so sorry, I can't really talk. So that's now my life. You have come to, has anybody other than your beautiful self who was wearing a First Date the Musical shirt, by the way, I love that. Has anybody else here actually gotten to see the musical?
Yet.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Coming later.
4. 5, you have tickets? I didn't ask if you had tickets. I asked if you see it. Well, thank you guys so much for having come and seen it, and thank you so much for getting tickets. I've said this joke a couple of times already, but if you always wanted a Chuck musical, now you have one, because I basically am Chuck for an hour and a half. And it's like a Chuck movie. It's crazy. And I'm working on that, so calm down. What's up, Malcolm? How are you, buddy? No, I don't think I'm going to kickstart it. And only because I have ideas for my own. I want to create my own Kickstarter of sorts. I want to make my own new entertainment portal that is content directly from. I mean, I've talked about this for the last couple of years at Nerd HQ, so it's no surprise. But I think oh, hey, it's the Pinks. Hi, Pinks. But you're not pink this year.
Oh, no, we're still pink.
Oh, you got pink in the ponytail. All right, rock and roll. But I think I've finally figured out how to do it. And just like Nerd HQ, by the way, it's all about incentive. I think I'm really a firm believer that if you incentivize, I don't like sitting down in this chair. I'm going to sit up in this chair. I feel like a big boy. I feel like if you can incentivize, what? Oh, yes, that's right. Okay, cool. Thanks. Hey, say hi, Shekinah. Say hi, Shekinah. Hi, Shekinah. Yeah, that's my sister. I love her. My dad's here again. Everybody say hi, Daryl. Yeah, you're welcome. It's an incentive. Life is about incentive. And if you can incentivize, you guys to say, hey, here's a really intimate interaction with your favorite celebs or scientists with JPL NASA. Yeah, right. And you know, it's only $20, and make that something that's affordable and fun, and incentivize all these celebs and say, hey, just give me an hour of your time, and you can raise $5,000. That's when I think really awesome stuff happens. And so I'm trying to create a new entertainment portal that essentially is product that we make goes directly to you guys, and then incentivizing people who are tastemakers to publicize it for you, you know, because now we control all that. We can make what we want. We can distribute it online. Seth was kind of talking a little bit about this. He and I have had many a brainstorming session, Seth Green, but also the marketing. The marketing is a really big thing, you know, and the studios and networks have done a really good job, and they've been the only ones who had the capability of doing that for so long. But now we can take that back, and we as creatives and as audiences, you know, you guys are the producers. Whatever you buy, you are producing. I hope you know that. So when you watch reality television, you're producing it. It's true. Well, actually, you know what? I'll do this first, so you guys can see this. Who's? I'm assuming everybody in here has probably been to Nerd HQ before, but who's here at Nerd HQ for the very first time? Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you guys so much for finally making it. What the hell do I have to do?
Come to Canada.
What? Come to Canada? That is the most vocal Canadian I've ever met in my life. No, strike that. I know Nathan Fillion. Boom. There it is. What we do here at Nerd HQ is very simple. We try to give you guys really fun panels like this, where even the person in the back row still has a decent view of my face. How are you? And we have monitors, so you know, you can see, even if it's like, oh, there he is. And then giving us an opportunity to interact with you guys in really fun ways to kind of talk about the things we're passionate about. And have conversation with you, conversation for a cause. And that cause is Operation Smile. And right now, just us talking right now, we just raised $5,000. So give yourself a round of applause for that. And let's go to the monitors, because I'm going to show you guys a little video that we cut together from my recent trip to Honduras, my first medical mission with Operation Smile.
Bienvenidos a Tegucigalpa, Honduras. Hello, my name is Zachary Levi. This is Adam Olson. We are in Tegucigalpa, Honduras, on our very first Operation Smile international mission. We've worked with Operation Smile for quite a few years now, and we're very blessed that this is our first opportunity to be here. Today is essentially day one. It's a screening day. We're anticipating about 200 kids coming through. And so today we're just kind of figuring out who we can help and how fast we can help them. We're spending time with the kids, handing out little trinkets or toys, informing their parents on nutrition, and just trying to be the best help that we can all be collectively. I am here with Rosabel. Rosabel, sí?
Sí.
Sí? Y Yitzi.
Yitzi Mabel.
Yitzi?
Sale García.
Yitzi is 3 years old. Rosabel is 27. Two other children, 5 years old and 2 years old.
There's two other children in the family. Her mother is not able to just put herself up in a hotel or just crash in Tegucigalpa. She has to return home, then return to the hospital. It's a very strenuous process and a difficult one. They were so gracious enough to let us come into their home, see their family, meet them, and know a little bit more about what that difficulty entails.
We're here with the family of Yitzi. They've welcomed us into their home to ask them questions and get to know them. This is their little family, Francisco, and this is Yitzi, her brother Javier, this is little Ava, and her mom Rosabel. They were able to borrow some money from a friend of his and make the trek out there, and she is going to have surgery. So we're really excited, and they're excited and happy, and she's going to look even more beautiful now.
Y ustedes saben que aquí no hay cómo pagar una operación de esa, porque me imagino que es cara. Y entonces les doy gracias porque ellos vienen a hacer ese esfuerzo, a ayudar a los niños pobres de aquí.
We're on our way walking to Child Life Therapy.
I'm just really excited for this to happen.
We were just able to witness Yeetsy's cleft lip surgery. It was amazing. It is miraculous, the surgery that takes place. Separating the muscle within the lip, going in and cutting cartilage away in the nose, reshaping the nose. It's amazing. I was able to be with her when she woke up, and her mother, Rosafel, came in. All in all, it was awesome. I'm so blessed to be here and experience this.
If you haven't already felt it, feel it. It's life-changing for everyone involved.
Thank you guys so much. We had such an awesome time, made so many new friends. We'll be back.
So many great smiles are out there now. It's amazing.
Thank you to Operation Smile and Operation Smile here in Honduras.
Gracias.
Adios.
Gracias para todos.
I mean, that's pretty special, right? That's pretty special. I'm not, by the way, I'm really not, I'm not going to cry this year, so don't even, I started tearing up a little bit. But by the way, I probably should have waited till the end, so it didn't. Oh man, yeah, hey. This is, this is why we do it. This is why you're here. This is, I mean, not entirely. It's everything. It's everything. It's giving you guys an awesome experience. It's giving us an awesome experience. It's selling T-shirts. It's everything. It's all those things. But when you can be a part of something that's bigger, and I really hope, by the way, if it's not Operation Smile, find something. Find something in your life. Be bigger about something, because you could die tomorrow. We could all be gone tomorrow. So go and make somebody's life that much better if you can. All right. So who's got a question? Yes, right here in front.
I just discovered that you were on First Date, so I don't know the musical very well. I was wondering if you could sing to me.
It's a brand. I'm not going to sing for you. You got to pay for that. But you really should come see it. And you wouldn't have known about it. It's a brand new musical. It's not based on a movie or a television show or anything like that. It is literally, I know, right? Original musicals. Who'd have thunk it? It's these guys, Austin Winsberg and Alan Zachary and Michael Weiner, who are all three television guys. Austin has written a lot of television in the past, and Michael and Alan have both written music for television and whatnot. And they're all buddies from LA that all really love Broadway, and so they thought, let's all make a Broadway musical together. And they did, and they workshopped it in Seattle. It did very well. The guy who originated the role in Seattle is actually doing it as we speak. What time is it right now? Maybe they're already done, but yeah, they're done for the night. I hope it killed. I hope they all crushed. And it's a really fun. It's a romp. It's it's not like highbrow or anything. It's a romantic comedy musical. It's me and Krista Rodriguez, who was on Smash. I don't know if any Smash fans. But it's just us on an hour-and-a-half date that's broken up in all these weird little vignettes and songs by all the voices in our heads. So like, all these people in the restaurant double as like our best friend or our sister or our shrink or our ex-fiance or whatever. And it's a lot of fun. It's got a lot of heart, and you should definitely come see it. Definitely. Anybody and everybody. Well, actually, no, not everybody. I say it's rated about PG-16. So, although I've seen some 12-year-olds coming out of it, I'm like, how old are you? What are you doing here? I hope you liked it. Yeah, so that's why you haven't heard of it. Who's next? Anybody else? Yes?
Broadway being a new venture for you, have you had any learning experiences or any fun experiences from the whole?
I mean, the last time I did a play was Godspell 12 years ago, and I grew up doing a lot of musical theater. So it's been one of those things where I was kind of freaked out because I haven't been on a stage live in front of people like that in a long time. And the biggest audience I ever performed for was like maybe 400, and there's like 1,100 people in this theater, which is crazy. And but it's so amazing. It's so amazing. I really feel very, very blessed. I feel like all of my fears, I just have a tremendous amount of peace about it. I had an amazing amount of peace taking the job. I thought about it a lot. I prayed about it a lot. I was like, is this what I'm supposed to do next? And I did. And then I've had kind of doubts or fears or whatever. And then we've had like amazing audiences. You guys have been amazing audiences. We've sold out shows for a brand new show that nobody's ever heard of. That's a really cool thing. So I don't even know if that answered anything you just asked. But yeah, that's what the experience has been like. Let's see, somebody over here. Yes.
So, if something happened and you got put into witness protection, what would be your new career and where would you want to live?
How do you know that this isn't my witness protection identity? Oh, crap, I gotta move again. What would I do? That's a good, well, I would live in Hawaii. Because that's gorgeous in Hawaii. Probably. I mean, it's not probably gorgeous. I would probably live there. What would I do? I don't know. I would be independently wealthy. I would have no job. Yeah, or be a hula dancer. I might do that. Tossing around fire. Yes, in the corner.
What exciting things would you like to have career-wise, or maybe even personally, in 10 years? I mean, what in your farthest?
In my farthest mind. Well, I believe Han and Leia had a son. I love that like only half the audience was clapping. The other half was like, "Dream on, buddy. Dream on." Dylan O'Brien's gonna get that. I don't know. I mean, again, I'm like so blessed. I've gotten to check off so many bucket list things. I've done a comic book movie now. I've been on, yeah. It's amazing the noises human beings make. I'm now on Broadway. I got to do a Disney movie. Come on. Yeah, so I can die tomorrow. That's fine. No. I'm kidding. But I could. But I'm kidding. But honestly. Has anybody ever seen Eddie Izzard dressed to kill? No, yeah. Engelbert Humperdinck. Yeah, he died, yeah. No, is it? Yeah. No, he's alive and well. He's no. It's one of the best stand-up comedy routines ever. It's so good. If you have not seen it, you have to go see it. Also see Jerry Seinfeld's I'm Telling You for the Last Time. That's hysterical. So good. I could kind of quote that verbatim as well, which is kind of a sickness. Anyway, so I don't know. I mean, you know, I would like to do roles that are I'd like to do roles that are a little different. I would really like to do stuff that's a little grittier and darker. I hope I can play that.
Win an Oscar?
That's a pretty rhetorical question. Would I like to win an Oscar? Let me think about that. I don't know. Yeah, I'd love to. I'd love to win a Tony. I'd love to win an Oscar. I'd love to win a Grammy. I'd love to win an Emmy. I just want whatever you'd call that. The what? EGOT. Like I was saying, the EGOT. What the hell is an EGOT? I know an Egon. I know that. Yes, so I'd like the EGOT, and just to feel like I've accomplished all that. But honestly, even more than that kind of trophy accolade thing, which I think any entertainer or performer or any vocation that involves awards, you hope that you're working at that high a level. But I would love to be able to have conversations with people that I have just the utmost respect for in my field and feel like that they look at me as somebody that is an equal and that has that kind of talent. And sometimes I don't, you know. Most of the time I don't. Most of the time I look at people and I'm like, oh my God, I'm such a fan. And not that they're not kind or whatever, but I don't know that I've really gotten to do something where people go, holy crap, that guy did that, you know? I mean, in some ways, I've shocked people sometimes, like when I did Tangled, and they go, holy crap, that guy actually sings decently? All right, good for him. I love you. So yeah, I guess that, yeah. I'll come back over here. Yes, you.
What made you decide to associate NerdHQ with Comic-Con? And also, thank you for having everyone who works here be so low-key and nice.
Oh, yeah.
It really makes the experience very low-key and nice.
Well, let's give it up for all of our volunteers and all of our amazing workers. No, it's, you know, look, I'm a firm believer in kindness and respect, and it's you know it's funny. Nathan Fillion has I love his little Twitter saying bio EGOT. But it's that I'm paraphrasing essentially. But it's it doesn't cost you anything to be nice or kind, and it really doesn't. And that doesn't mean, by the way, you should be walked on. Don't ever be walked on. If anybody ever tries to walk on you, stand your ground and say no. You're not going to do that. But don't feel like you got to throw weight around in order to ask somebody to just do something that they might not should be doing. And that's what's so amazing about our volunteers. Everyone here understands that it's about you guys. We want you guys to walk away from this going, that was the most amazing experience I've ever had. I loved that panel. I so want to go back. So I hope that that's how you feel, and thank you. And the reason why I connected it to Comic-Con was because, why not? That's because honestly, I feel like it's the only, well, not the only place. I mean, I hope that we're able to build this and do more cons with it, or other events, or maybe even our own standalones. But this was the only place that we could do it. We're able to do panels like this because everyone's already coming in for Comic-Con. So we're very, very at the mercy of and very much grateful for the talent that the mothership brings in. And all we're asking are for people to say, hey, while you're visiting, would you mind stopping by for an hour? And if you don't have an hour, how about 45 minutes? And if you don't have 45 minutes, how about 30 minutes? Or how about if you can't do a panel, do Smiles for Smiles. By the way, we're going to have more people doing that. I think Stan Lee's going to come in and do Smiles for Smiles. Yeah, because he didn't have enough time for a panel, but he was like, Excelsior, I'll come take pictures. I'm like, yes, sir. I love it. So that's why. But we're gonna try and do New York Comic-Con. Don't hold me to that. But anybody in the New York area, we're gonna try and do that. And other. Oh, you've had it. I understand. I'm so blind. No, I'm kidding. But really, I'm kidding. I have to. It's funny. I love you though. I'm sorry you have to leave. Oh, thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. What's your name? Adam? Matt. Everybody say I love you, Matt. I'm sorry you have to go. So that's why. We're working my way up on this side. Yes, you?
It's not really a question, can I ask you to do something?
Can I say, here comes the smolder? No. Here comes the smolder. It's amazing the things that people ask for. It really is. Oh, by the way, I totally forgot to tell you this. Some of you who have been here before realize that we're not handing out mics anymore. And that's because we have mics all over above you and around you. But that means that I need you when I do pick on you, when I pick you to ask a question. I keep having to reiterate that. Please stand up and let everybody see you, and project. And that's all I need. Okay, great. Yes, you over there, sir. Yes.
If a random person were to come up to you and hand you a script, would you read it?
Is your name Random Person? Perhaps, perchance. And actually, this is a good thing for you to know, or anybody who's an aspiring filmmaker or a writer or director or whatever, producer. Things get a little dicey sometimes with how procedure goes because of intellectual property. So, like, if you were to hand me a script and I were to read it, or let's say I weren't to read it, and then later on, by happenstance, I actually had a similar idea. And you were like, oh, I gave him that idea, and he made that movie, and I now should get part of those proceeds. But honestly, I never read it. So that's why a lot of times you have to go through certain channels. Right. But I'll tell you this, probably the best thing to do is approach somebody and say, hey, I have a script for you. Who is the best person on your team to send it to? And would you please let them know that I will be sending it to them, and give them a card with your name and your information on it. And that way, somebody in my position could say, absolutely, I can take your card. I can say, this guy is sending me a script. Make sure you keep your eyes out for it. And they tend to read that stuff first. They vet out a lot of stuff, just so you know. And if it's good, and by the way, I believe it. I see it in your eyes. I'm sure it's fantastic. Then they will consider it. And especially nowadays, in a time when, look, we can maybe make that happen. You know what I mean? You don't necessarily need a studio or a network. You can really make people's passions come to life, and it's a real thing. So keep at it. Whatever you're doing, keep at it. Okay?
Thank you.
Yes, over. Anybody? Oh, nope. That whole back corner's like, I got nothing. Yes, you in the back there. Hi, yes, you.
I just had a question. So you're doing Broadway right now, but after this show is over, what are your plans after that?
After I do the Broadway show?
Yeah.
Nothing. I don't know. Well, first it kind of depends on how long the show runs. I mean, if we like totally implode and close in a couple of weeks, which happens, but I actually don't think will happen because I really do feel like the show is blessed, for lack of better words. But by the way, that actually, you know what? That doesn't mean anything. It could still crash and burn. But that I could be doing the show for 6 months. I could be doing it for a year. After that, I mean, I don't know. Whatever God's got in store. Like another series might be fun. Maybe a series in New York. I really think it would be fun to do a TV show in New York. Maybe some movies I make, maybe some movies I make with my friends, some of those friends that you guys like, because I need you to buy it. Let's be real. I have all kinds of crazy ideas that either will or will not work, but I hope they do. I hope they do, because there are things that I'm really passionate about, and things that really are about, you know, closing the gap between us, and giving you guys back, you know, your ability and your voice to say, I like this or I don't like this, and us go, oh, cool, you don't like it? Fine. We don't need to make that anymore. But if you do like it, be like, yeah, let's keep making this thing, you know? I really believe in an a la carte model, by the way, when we're talking about, well, actually, that's a good question. Do you guys do Netflix and iTunes? I'm assuming everybody does. So, who is more in favor of a subscription over a la carte? Two people. Who likes buying things as you go? Like buying like iTunes kind of model. Like, I like that movie, I'm gonna buy that movie, but not subscribing to an entire service. And there's a lot of just people like in between. You're kind of in between? Okay. I'm an a la carte kind of guy. Because I feel like we're about to go into an age where you're gonna have a ton of subscriptions. You are going to have basically every channel, every cable network, everybody is like, hey, and it'll be nominal. It'll be like, hey, it's $5 and you get all of, you know, Channel X's shows. But that's going to be kind of tough to divvy up. Like, you're going to have shows that do really, really well, and they're kind of pulling the weight of everybody else. So to me, it still doesn't say, it doesn't give the fans the power to say, it's that show that I'm actually subscribing for and not that other show. And I also don't want to keep building up a bunch of subscriptions. I think that can start to get a little pricey. I personally like saying, I made this movie, buy this movie. I made this show, buy this show, or don't if you don't like it. I'm gonna keep coming back on this theme, by the way, because this is something I really want to do. Yes, over there in the nerd shirt. Great shirt, by the way.
Experience like on Thor.
My experience on Thor was pretty dreamy. It was. You know, I got to. I mean, the last time I saw you guys I was literally about to embark on that amazing adventure, and I was goateed. I had mustached, and I got to be this, you know, incredible character of Marvel lore, side character, but nonetheless a character, and you know, because he's a side character with not that much to find in the comics, or not as much as Thor anyway, there's a little more lenience with fanboys and girls. People get, they're like, oh, I kind of liked his take on that, as opposed to, that's not Thor, I can't do that. I hope nobody does that, by the way. Especially in that voice, that's just annoying. But it was a really cool experience. I got to live in London for 5 months. I got to see the Olympics while I was there. That was crazy awesome. And I got to work with people like Chris Hemsworth and Natalie Portman and Tom Hiddleston and Anthony Hopkins. What? There it goes again. What? It's like you're tightening lug nuts on an Indy car. And a lot of like incredible talent and lovely people. You know, Anthony Hopkins is like, let me tell you something. He is everything you want him to be. I could not be more impressed. He's so down to earth. He's literally not the joke. I mean, the thing is, it's like you say, oh, it's Mr. Hopkins. He's like, no, call me Tony. And you're like, okay, Mr. Tony. Like, you can't even compute. You're like, you're a sir, aren't you? Like, how do you? But he doesn't even care about that stuff. Like, he's just so cool. And he was shooting Red 2 at the same time. And I know, like, he's like, you know, and he's like double duty and like going for it. And we had this scene we were shooting one day, and like everybody was in it, and we did a camera blocking for it, and so we're all lined up, and we're doing the camera blocking for it, and they're like, okay, cool, we got it lined up now. Everybody's standing, come in, and you guys go take a little break. And we were all walking back from set back to the trailers, and I'd had a couple back and forths with Tony a couple times, and it was always really nice. But with somebody of that stature, like, you don't even know how to start a conversation. You don't want to say the same thing that everybody's always said, like, I loved you in everything you've ever done. What do you say? And so I was like, hey, how's Red 2 going? Because I knew he was shooting that. And he literally, we're kind of walking side by side, and he's friggin' Whedon. And he's, got his eye patch on. And he's walking, and I say, how's Red 2 going? And he goes, really good, actually. And he just, like, the most amazing, sincere, like, for the next 20 minutes, just proceeds to tell me how great a time he's having working with, by the way, this is a horrible Anthony Hopkins. Although he's Welsh and I'm Welsh, so yeah. But he's like, yeah, Bruce Willis is in it, And I was like, I know that. That's great. So yeah, and he proceeds to, in one of the most like in the way that somebody who's doing their first movie would tell you about their movie experience. There was no jadedness. There was no like old hat. It wasn't like, yeah, it's all right, because sometimes you don't want to, you never know. Like if somebody's asking you just to be kind or whatever, and he was so just like big-eyed and unjaded and cool, and I was like, this guy is Academy Award winning. He is probably, arguably, the best actor alive right now. I mean, everybody's kind of got their opinions, but certainly in the top 3, whatever. And he is not skipping a beat and being so authentic and passionate about the movies that he's still doing. And I go, that is what every actor, that is what every entertainer should take away from that. Like, that is what I hope I aspire to be. I hope that I get to be Academy Award winning Zachary Levi, but even if I'm not, I hope that I'm still working at 170 or however old he is. I don't know. He's not. He's like 70. He's like 70. He's 45. He's 45. I don't know. But I hope that people walk away from experience with me in that same way, because it was just so refreshing. So, long answer, it was an amazing experience. Yeah. Yes, with the hat, and then right behind him, I'll do you next.
So if you had like a month off, no responsibilities, no work, no nothing, you can do whatever you want and just whatever floats your boat. What would you do?
I guess I'd be on a boat. Thank you for laughing at my dumb jokes, by the way. I don't know. I have a hard time. I'm kind of like a feast or famine. So it's like I'm either doing absolutely nothing and then feeling really bad about myself because I'm like, I could have been doing something with that time. Or I'm trying to enact my vision into the world, or things that I'm really passionate about and that I hope will become. Because I like seeing things and going, well, how could you make that cooler? Like, I want to make that cooler. I want to do, sometimes it's a doodad, it's a thing, and it's like, like video games. Like did you see the Omni multi-track that's in there right now? So to me, that's like mind-blowing awesome. Because as a gamer, I would sit around going, well, how do we do this? How do we do the 3D HUD with the Ocular Rift that I'm just so pissed those guys beat me to it. Like, it's so awesome. How do you do that? Actually, I think I've talked about this at Nerd HQ before, like gaming, interactive gaming, but how do you do that while you have some kind of multi-directional thing or whatever so you can keep moving around and having a gun that has like all the different buttons you need, and so and I think all like kids will be like super fit, like all these gamers that are like sitting around gaining a couple extra lbs, like they're all gonna be like super fit because they're gonna be running after each other, killing each other. That's really, which is the upside of the downside. But it'll be a lot of fun, and like that kind of stuff. Like I dream up things, and I want to bring those into the world because again, you don't know how much time you got, and do the most you can with the time you got. I'm a big firm believer in that. And float boats. I want to go on boats. And then behind, yes, ma'am, miss.
So first I wanted to thank you for what you do with the Nerd Machine. I can say that I have a lot of people that I call friends, even just in this room, because of the whole community. Aside from the community aspect of it, my favorite part of what you do is just being able to, or wanting to be able to connect the celebrities and people that are talent with the fans. But now that Nerd HQ is getting bigger, like all of your panels selling out in like 10 seconds or less, and even you doing lots of stuff like on Broadway and in other movies, like that's getting a lot harder. Do you have a plan of how you plan on continuing to be able to be accessible to your fans while still continuing your career and continuing HQ?
I'm working on cloning. Sold. They're $1 million. You still interested? Oh, fantastic. Kickstart that. Help me buy a Zachary Levi. Have you ever seen Multiplicity? I love that movie. I think Michael Keaton is one of the most talented actors. I really do. What's that? Arguably, yeah. I'm with you. I try not to get into that category. That gets like, what? I'm out, bro. Christian Bale, Dark Knight, bro. Get out here. Because everybody who liked Dark Knight works out a lot, apparently. Like, Dark Knight, where's my whey protein? Come on. I love Michael Keaton, and I love Tim Burton, and I did really. I love Nolan and Christian, by the way. I really, and that was kind of my childhood Batman, and I felt like it was enough kapow without being that kapow, but still feeling like you're in this really kind of dark, twisted world that was still its own different world. And I loved that. And I loved the big wings on the back of the Batmobile. And it started getting a little weird. But I love that. And I think Michael Keaton is just so unsung nowadays, especially. Like, it's a bummer. But hopefully I'll make a lot of movies and I can hire him and say, I love you. Will you be in my movie? Why do I always do that voice? But Multiplicity, I think, is amazing, speaking of cloning. And I would probably end up having those jacked up clones. I would have I like pizza. That would be the one that you buy. Maybe. She touched my peppy. And the wheels have fallen off the wagon, folks. Yes, you're right there.
As fans, what can we do to see a Chuck movie come?
Excellent question. Okay, so just so you guys kind of know where my head's at with all this, I've kind of talked about it a couple of times in different ways, but just so you guys understand. So there's a couple things at play here. First of all, the show has not actually finished airing all over the world. Some of you know that, some of you don't. Yeah, in some markets, it's actually still going right now. So, so a Chuck movie, which in my estimation would be something that would release worldwide online at the same time, would be a little bit of a spoiler for those folks. What happened to her memory? Oh my God! So we gotta wait. And by the way, and I also think it's a good thing. I think it's good to have just a little bit of a distance and let everybody go and thrive and kick butt. And I'm so proud of Yvonne and all the stuff that she's doing, and and Josh and Adam and Sarah and Ryan. I mean, everybody. I mean, it's such an amazing family that we had, and one that I've always wanted to get back together. At the right time. So trust me that when that time is right, I'm gonna be doing everything that I possibly can to get the band back together and jam out. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, to the Kickstarter thing of it, I think Kickstarter is an amazing thing, and I really am constantly impressed by what they do, and me personally, and please, to the world, to those here, I'm not saying I'm not saying anything against anyone who's used Kickstarter in any way, shape, or form. For my own personal feelings, I would want to do something that is not exactly Kickstarter in that way, because I don't necessarily, it's not for me for that. What I would like to do is, in the same way, we have a lot of video gamers here, I'm assuming. So what I love about the video game business is that they're making a video game regardless of who pre-buys it or not. But if you do pre-buy it, you get a cool little bonus with it. You get the limited edition, this, that, or whatever. And so what I would like to do is that. I don't want to depend on a crowdsource to be like, hey, if we get enough money, we can make it happen. I want to say, hey, we're making this to all of you 10 million Chuck fans, and we'll get the word out so that everybody's aware of it, and also it'll be affordable. It's not going to be some astronomical thing. It's something where if you pre-buy it for, let's say, I don't know, $20, you'll get a cool little limited edition thing. And if you don't pre-buy it, guess what? We still made it, and you can buy it for $10 or whatever it is, and you got your Chuck movie. So does that make sense? Does that kind of sound like cool? Yeah. But by the way, the more people who pre-buy it, the better off the investors that will put that money in will then ultimately want to do more and more and more. So I would highly encourage you guys to mobilize and tell every Chuck fan in the world when it's time. You don't have to go right now. It's fine. And by the way, I appreciate all the fan like petitions and all those things. Like, I see them. I'm not jumping on board because I don't believe in them. I just know that I have the inside information to know that it's not the right time yet. So just be patient. Please be patient. And I'll tell you, that's the beautiful thing about Twitter. You'll know. Yeah. Let's see, somebody over here. Yes. Hi.
I am one of those gamers that has screamed. Loved what you did with Tomb Raider, which was phenomenal.
Thank you.
Are you planning on doing anything more like that? Maybe having some panels with like the voice actors that are starting to get much bigger in the entertainment world? Maybe do something else like a behind-the-scenes thing like you did with Tomb Raider? Do you have any plans for something like that?
I don't have any plans to do any more behind-the-scenes stuff. Although that was a pretty cool experience, and that they put me in the game was really fun. I was like, it's me. It's not even like a voice that I'm doing for somebody else. That's me. I'm wearing this English version shirt in the game. So that was a lot of fun. I don't know if I'm going to be doing any more behind the scenes stuff, but I'll say this about panels. If you guys ever want anybody, and I mean literally almost anybody, if you want a panel for them, tweet them, tell them. An actor, a celebrity, JPL, NASA, whatever. If you guys want somebody, I mean, that's why I say almost anybody, as long as they're kind of within the world that would kind of be represented here at Comic-Con, like, I'm more than happy to have you guys go bug the crap out of them and just go and do, because honestly, I feel like there's a lot, we've tried, and trust me, I mean, there's so many people that we've tried to get to do panels here, and there's a couple things at play. You know that this schedule at Comic-Con is crazy. All the celebrities that come down here, sometimes a lot of times they're in the middle of shooting their shows. So they have like one day where they get to come down and they are slammed like wall-to-wall press all day long, and they're gonna do the main hall. That's what they got to do. That's their main thing. If I get them for an hour, it's a huge, huge blessing. But sometimes they're not aware of it, or they're like, I don't know, it's not, So tell them, say, hey, Nerd HQ is a lot of fun, and Zach doesn't bite too much, and it's good. So that's what I would say about the panel stuff. Yeah, and then I'll bounce back over here. Yes, you in the back, and then I'll come back to you in front. Yeah, yeah, you right there.
So I'm looking backwards, see what's behind me. Okay, two parts. One, I have to thank you because for 2 years you've signed birthday cards for my sister. But we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for her at home getting online. So we need to up it the ante. I was thinking maybe you could say happy birthday to my sister Julie.
Absolutely. Is she right there?
No, this is my younger sister. we were at
I love that you were like, no, get out of here. Move. He's about to say happy birthday. Move.
No, we were at the Psych musical when your stuff went on sale. So she's back home in Texas on the computer.
Oh, she's helping you guys get tickets?
So she got us for all of your panels.
What's her name? Julie. Which can't? Hi. Happy birthday, Julie. We wish you were here. You're a stud sister. You're awesome. You were literally helping your family come and spend time with me and other panelists here at Nerd HQ. So you rock, and happy birthday, and I hope it's full of everything you could ever want. So. Yeah.
Which is the fun.
No, it's okay. I'll get to you next. They're so different. They're so different. They are literally they are literally like kind of like moving along the spectrum of like difference. They are that doesn't. Let me use smarter words. So like okay, so for example, doing like musical comedy theater is like infrared. And doing like, just go with me, And doing like a super intense like independent movie film is like ultraviolet. So they could not be more different in the way that you perform them or the things that you get from them as a performer or the way that people respond to them and all that. I mean, they're all within acting and entertainment, but they're very, very, very different. You flex different muscles, acting muscles. I'm using a lot of metaphors here, just keep going with me. So I don't know that I could say that I like any one of them more than the other necessarily. I really love doing them all, and I really hope I'm blessed enough to keep doing them all. I will say that after doing 5 years on Chuck and having that experience and what that was for me as an actor and as a director, that was a really amazing experience. Doing a movie like Thor scratched a whole nother itch, and I was satisfied in a whole nother way. And it was absolutely the perfect time to say, okay, I'm gonna take a break from cameras. Well, obviously with the exception of these cameras, I'm gonna take a little break from that world and just go back to where I started and doing live theater, where I gotta tell you, I mean, it's so exhilarating. I mean, it is, to make 1,100 people laugh is one of the coolest things in the world. It's amazing, and cheer, and and again, I've been really lucky that the people actually laugh, because if they're not laughing, I want to die. I would rather. That's hard. That is really, really hard. But that's the risk that you take in order to go and have that kind of elation and connection that you have with your audience. That's why I love doing this stuff, by the way. Like, I love connecting with you guys. I love making you laugh. I love making you cry, in the best of ways. And when you can connect with people, like that's what makes being an entertainer what it's worth. So yeah. And then you in the Nerd HQ hat. Yes. Hello. Hi.
I'm so curious. Can you cook, or are you mostly a takeout person?
Oh, I'm all takeout, baby. I'm all takeout all the time. I wish I could cook. I can make a mean Kraft Mac and Cheese. Because it's the best mac and cheese. Who are we kidding? It's amazing, too. It's like the cheapest, but it's like it's our childhood. So you go, yep, I'm going to eat it. Yep. This is probably not great for me, but I love it. I love you, Kraft. Oh, God. Potential sponsor, gone. Yeah, so that's that. Somebody over here. Let's see. What? What? Really? Why? Oh, my sister is laying down the law. Two quick ones. Yes. Quick.
I just want to know what your favorite memory, Comic-Con wise, is.
Oh gosh, right now. Seriously, the real answer is I couldn't even tell you. Like, the first time we ever showed the pilot of Chuck was anybody there the first time we ever showed Chuck? Wow. You guys have been with us that long, that you've been with me that long, that you've believed in me. I cried, because I cry a lot. But it was amazing. It was a standing ovation to 2,000 people in Ballroom 20. Was it Ballroom 20 that year? It was incredible. But every year we did it. Having Jeffster do Fat Bottom Girls, and what is this? Meeting Stan Lee for the first time, becoming friends with Matt Smith and Nathan Fillion, and all the things that have happened. And Nerd HQ, the very first time we ever did a panel, and I bawled like a baby. And you guys have been so supportive of mine. Every moment is a special moment here, and I hope that every moment at Nerd HQ is a special moment for you guys, because that's what it's about. So yeah. 1 second. Okay, I one more question. Who's got the best question? Who's just burning? Who's burning? Am I single? That's not a great question. But yes, I am. Kind of. Not really, but yeah, but no. Yes. Hit me.
Is it okay if I just tell you something?
Oh, you want to tell me
I
something?
want to tell you something.
Yes, tell me.
When we came to the first Nerd HQ, you were very nice and you greeted us, I guess, with my daughter Emily. And I wanted to let you know that your dad I talked to, at first, he was talking with us and just saying how much he loves your kids. And it didn't matter if you guys dug ditches, that he would just love what you did and he just was proud of you. And I thought it was very cool that he asked my daughter Emily, he goes, may I ask why you're in a wheelchair? And it was just very sweet. And then when we came to meet you, that's the exact thing you did. You actually said I'm Zachary Levi, which is humbling because we know who you are.
Well, you never know. I mean.
Huge fans. And, but it was just so sweet because you said the exact same words. You said, may I ask why you're in a wheelchair? And it was just to see how much influence obviously your family has on you. And I wanted to tell you that. And so now that's it.
Well,
that was really cool.
let me tell you that thank you very much. That means a lot to me. It means a lot to me that you guys have been here for 3 years, because you have. See, don't do that. See, don't do that. Whoa, I'm wrapping up. I know. I mean, literally, Petco Park's gonna be like, turning off the lights. But thank you so much. No. I so appreciate that, and I want you to know. I want anybody to know that, because this weekend is so crazy. If I don't get a moment with you, if I'm rushing past, if you don't get a picture, if you don't get a signature, please know. Please know that I firmly believe, I genuinely believe, that I only get to do what I do, that entertainers only get to do what we do, because you guys care what we do. And so that's why I love you, and that's why I appreciate you, and that's why I do Nerd HQ, and that's why I say thank you, and that's why I have to go right now. Sorry. God, I really wanted to go out on a high note, too. Hey, good night! 2 last things. Please stay in your seats. They're going to usher you out row by row. That's 1. 2, one of my dear friends, Yvette Nicole Brown from Community, is doing Smiles for Smiles right now. Or, but don't hurt anybody rushing out there. But she'll be there at the photo booth. So if you'd like to go take a picture with Yvette, it's $20. It's all for charity, and she is one of the loveliest souls that I've ever met in my life. I love you, Zach! I love you guys. God bless you guys. We'll see you this weekend. And come party with us tonight. We're having a big party just for you. All right.